Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing really well. So, in this particular session, I'm going to revise chapter 1 to 8. So, the revision is going to happen in such a way because I'll be solving these test understandings, these exam kit questions. So, while solving these exam kit questions, a bit of revision of the first 8 chapters will be done. And anyhow, if you have not yet gone through the first 8 chapters, the sessions are already available on YouTube. You can just go ahead, watch those sessions, and then come here, because in those sessions I did not solve these textual understandings. What I solved, what did I do is I had more of conceptual and content overview and explanation about that content. So you can get content and conceptual clarity with those sessions. Here I'll be sharing more of the textual understandings, and while doing these textual understandings, I'll even revise the chapter 1 to 8. So here we are. I have taken up one of the Kaplan text, one of the suggested material for the business and technology paper, especially. This one is suggested. So let us get started with these questions, and also some tips for you guys who are going to give that business and technology paper, that you are going to get 16 questions of 1 mark. So that equals 16 marks. Then you are going to get 6 questions of 4 mark each. So how much is that? 24. Now, if you just see in here, here's 24, which is going to come in section B. There's only 2 sections, section A, section B. So section B, you're going to get 6 questions of 4 mark each. Kind of a bit of tricky, मतलब ज़्यादा एक case study रहेगी उसमें. You will be having 4 different questions, and out of that 4 different questions you need to answer all of them right to move ahead. यहीं पे थोड़ा स्टूडेंट्स को थोड़ा ट्रिकी होती है, और यहीं पे स्टूडेंट्स लूज आउट करते हैं मार्क्स को. जैसे कि आउट ऑफ 100 का पेपर है, तो नॉर्मली स्टूडेंट्स बहुत कॉन्फिडेंटली आगे जाते हैं एग्जाम को, लेकिन जब रिजल्ट आता है तो उनका रिजल्ट 50s या 60s में होता है, एंड दे विल बी लाइक व्हाट वेंट रॉन्ग. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स दिस इज द प्लेस वेयर इट गोज रॉन्ग. यहाँ पे अगर आप अच्छे से कॉन्सेंट्रेट करेंगे, अच्छे से क्वेश्चन पढ़ेंगे, देन इट विल बी रियली इजी फॉर यू. बट होता क्या है, जब आप शुरू करते हैं पेपर, तो आप सेक्शन ए से शुरू करते हैं. अब आप यहाँ देख लीजिए, 40 मार्क्स इधर ही हो गए, तो जो बैलेंस 60 मार्क है, विच इज 30 क्वेश्चंस ऑफ 2 मार्क ईच. सो हियर्स 60, 24, 16 is 40, and then remaining 60. यहाँ पे क्या होता है, जब आप सेक्शन ए स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, ओके, इन सेक्शन ए देयर इज नथिंग लाइक पहले 16 क्वेश्चंस 1 मार्क ईच है, फिर बाद के 30 क्वेश्चन 2 मार्क ईच है. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. इट्स लाइक देयर आर गोइंग टू बी 46 क्वेश्चंस, एंड दीज 46 क्वेश्चंस में 1 मार्क के 2 मार्क के मिक्सचर के साथ आएंगे, मतलब पहले आएगा बाद में आएगा. जैसे कि अभी आप ये देखो कि ये एक क्वेश्चन 2 मार्क का है, फिर एक क्वेश्चन 1 मार्क का है, फिर एक 2 मार्क का क्वेश्चन, 2 मार्क का क्वेश्चन, 2 मार्क का क्वेश्चन, and then slowly you'll get 1 mark like that. So like this, your whole examination will be a bit of a mixture of 1 mark and 2 mark. There is no particular pattern in that. So there will be 46 questions, मिक्सचर के साथ आएगा. 1 मार्क के क्वेश्चन रहेंगे, 2 मार्क के क्वेश्चन रहेंगे. तो होता क्या है एग्जामिनेशन में, ज्यादातर स्टूडेंट्स अपना टाइम इसी में फिनिश कर देते हैं. So when they finish off their time in these questions, like 16 and these 30, total 46 questions, by the time they reach to these questions, it will be really difficult for them, because more time तक जो freshness रहती है examination की वो चले जाती है. So what I would suggest each and every student who is going to give their examination for business and technology to start from section B. सेक्शन बी से अगर आप स्टार्ट करेंगे, जो 6 क्वेश्चन है 4 मार्क के, इफ यू स्टार्ट विद दैट, यू आर अ बिट फ्रेश फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन. 2 घंटे नहीं हुए हैं अभी तक, या 1.5 घंटा नहीं हुआ है एग्जाम में, तो आप थोड़ा फ्रेश रहेंगे, आप अच्छे से कॉन्फिडेंटली आंसर कर पाएंगे. और अगर सपोज कोई क्वेश्चन समझ में नहीं भी आता है, या बीच में कुछ छोड़ना चाहते हैं आप सेक्शन बी में से, तो यू कैन लीव इट एंड देन कम टुवर्ड्स सेक्शन ए, और सॉल्व करते रहो जो समझ में आया. और जो समझ में नहीं आया वो लास्ट में, गो टुवर्ड्स इट एट द लास्ट. ट्राई टू मेक योर बेस्ट एजुकेशनल गेस देयर, बट बी कॉन्फिडेंट व्हाइल यू आर डूइंग दैट. अब गेस मैं तब बोल रहा हूँ, आई एम नॉट टेलिंग के गेस वर्क करो. आई एम टेलिंग यू, take an educated guess at the last, at last कुछ भी टाइम बचा हुआ नहीं है, then you can take an educated guess because you have already prepared months and months for this particular examination. Okay, so I hope that this was a really good examination tip for you guys. I hope that that will be helpful also for you. अगर आपके पास और भी कुछ ऐसे डाउट्स है कि प्लान कैसे बनाना है, एग्जाम कब लिखना है, कैसे लिखना है, तो यू कैन रीच आउट टू मी. In fact, I'll make a video for it also soon and get started with it. तो यहाँ पे बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड द फर्स्ट 8 चैप्टर्स के क्वेश्चंस अगर देखें तो इट इज समवेयर अराउंड 100 क्वेश्चंस है यहाँ पे. But in this session, am I going to solve all the 100 questions? The answer is no. I'm not going to solve all the 100 questions. I'm going to solve few questions related to almost all the topic. Almost पूरा कवरेज करे जैसा मैं क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करूंगा यहाँ पे. और क्या चीज पे आप लोग गलत हो सकते हैं, जा सकते हैं, गलती कहाँ हो सकती है, सिली मिस्टेक्स कहाँ हो सकते हैं, वो मैं आपको इस सेशन में बताऊंगा. And you guys need to go ahead and do these particular test understandings in exam kit. मैं बस आपको सॉल्व करने का तरीका बता रहा हूँ. हालांकि है ये पूरा थियोरी, उतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं है ये, लेकिन फिर भी कभी कभी कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को डिफिकल्टी होती है थियोरी क्वेश्चंस में भी. सो लेट अस बिगिन इन हियर. तो ये वीडियो मैं बंद करता हूँ ताकि आप लोग को स्क्रीन प्रॉपर दिखे. Now, if you just see in here, this is the first question which is there in front of us. Which of the following is not a key feature of an organization? तो अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की अगर डेफिनेशन देखें हम लोग, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की डेफिनेशन क्या है, ये तीनों चीज आती है. अगर आप फर्स्ट सेशन जाकर देखें मेरा, in that we are defining the organization in which there is controlled performance, there is collective goal for everyone who is there in the organization, and there are also social arrangements in the organization so that everybody is satisfied in what they are doing. Or a goal which they have to reach, they are able to reach it at the earliest. So all these three are forming part of the organizational features. What is not is creation of a product or a service. This does not form part of, or it's not a key feature. It is a feature but not the key feature of an organization. फिर देखो एक मार्क का क्वेश्चन है, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज नॉर्मली फाउंड इन द पब्लिक सेक्टर. अब पब्लिक सेक्टर में क्या है, स्कूल्स, चैरिटीज, बिजनेसेस. नाउ व्हाट वुड कम इन हियर इन अ पब्लिक सेक्टर? चैरिटीज पब्लिक सेक्टर में नहीं आएंगे, वो तो एनजीओ की तरफ आएंगे. बिजनेस आधे पब्लिक सेक्टर, नो, प्राइवेट सेक्टर रहेंगे वो. स्कूल्स पब्लिक सेक्टर में आएंगे, यस इट विल कम. सी यू गाइस नीड टू गो बैक टुवर्ड्स दिस चैप्टर. मींस अगर आप यहाँ देख लो, यहाँ अगर आप यहाँ पे से अच्छे से पढ़ रहे हैं तो आप देख लो कि इफ यू सी पब्लिक सेक्टर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस क्या रहा है यहाँ पे, पुलिस, मिलिट्री, पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट, प्राइमरी एजुकेशन, हेल्थ केयर फॉर द पुअर. आई होप यू गाइस आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. स्कूल्स, यस इट विल कम. आप लोग का रिविजन भी हो रहा है यहाँ पे और आप आगे भी बढ़ रहे हैं इधर टेस्ट एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग के साथ. देन पब्लिक सेक्टर इज नॉर्मली कंसर्न्ड विथ, पब्लिक सेक्टर का नॉर्मल कंसर्न क्या होता है, प्रॉफिट बनाना? नहीं, प्रॉफिट बनाना तो नहीं होता है. प्रॉफिट फ्रॉम द सेल ऑफ गुड्स पब्लिक सेक्टर का नॉर्मल कंसर्न नहीं. प्रोविजन सर्विसेज टू स्पेसिफिक ग्रुप्स फंडेड फ्रॉम चैरिटेबल डोनेशंस. चैरिटेबल डोनेशंस पब्लिक सेक्टर में आता है क्या? नहीं आ रहा है. देन प्रोविजन ऑफ बेसिक गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज, यस इट कैन बी. रेजिंग फंड्स बाय सब्सक्रिप्शन फ्रॉम मेंबर्स टू प्रोवाइड कॉमन सर्विसेज, ये होता है सोसाइटी में, कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी में. यहाँ पे नहीं, ये पब्लिक सेक्टर में नहीं. तो आंसर हमारा बन रहा है अ प्रोविजन ऑफ बेसिक गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज. दैट्स गोइंग टू बी योर आंसर. अगर ये आंसर आप तभी दे सकते हैं कॉन्फिडेंटली जब आप ये पूरा पढ़ चुके हैं. देखो मैं आपको अब मेरे सेशन में स्लाइड्स बताया हूँ. आई हैव टॉट यू गाइस फ्रॉम द स्लाइड्स एंड यू हैव दिस मटेरियल अवेलेबल विथ यू, so you should be able to go through it on a faster pace. Okay, then again you just see in here, ये एक थोड़ा सा एक छोटा सा केस बन गया है यहाँ पे. अब जैसे ये केस बन रहा है, आपको क्या करना है, सबसे पहले whenever you get a question you read the requirement first, मतलब कि लास्ट लाइन पढ़ो. तो लास्ट लाइन यहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे, which of the following best explains the reason for the improved performance of the combined entity. मतलब कि एक proper organization में what explains the reason for improved performance. Okay, so let us see in here. ACCA is a company which specializes in forestry. It has recently purchased B company which runs a chain of recreational resorts. A has allowed B to build several new resorts on land which is owned by A, but which it is no longer able to use. The resorts have proven highly profitable and popular. वो कैसा? Which of the following best explains the reason for the improved performance of a combined entity? क्या है वो? स्पेशलाइजेशन, सोशल इंटरएक्टिविटी, सिनर्जी या सर्विस? तो अगर हमको ये क्वेश्चन देखना है, let me just explain you in here again. A company which specializes in forestry, okay, had purchased B company which runs a chain of recreational resorts. तो उसका काम क्या है? recreational resorts ही बनाना है. So that is, or running a recreational resort. So they are specializing in that. So A has allowed B to build resorts on the land which A owns. Okay, मतलब कि उनकी जमीन पर आप बनाओ. Then the resorts have proven highly profitable and popular. So what can it be? अब जैसे देखो, A की मतलब स्पेशलिटी क्या है? फॉरेस्ट्री. बी की स्पेशलिटी क्या है? रिक्रिएशनल. ये दोनों साथ में बन रहे हैं और प्रॉफिटेबल हो रहे हैं, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि दे आर स्पेशलाइज्ड इन देयर ओन मींस. ओके, दे आर स्पेशलाइज्ड इन देयर ओन मींस. नाउ कैन स्पेशलाइजेशन बी एन आंसर हियर? अगर थोड़ा सा कीवर्ड्स पे अगर जाएंगे तो स्पेशलाइजेशन दिखेगा, लेकिन लेट अस जस्ट सी ऑप्शन बी, सोशल इंटरएक्टिविटी. सोशल इंटरएक्टिविटी यहाँ पे से तो इट डज नॉट मेक, बिकॉज यू आर हियर प्रॉफिटेबल, तो सोशल इंटरएक्टिविटी हटा दो. फिर आता है ये ऑप्शन डी, देखते हैं सर्विस. सर्विस यहाँ पे ऑप्शन आया ही क्यों है? वी डोंट नो, बिकॉज शायद ये कंफ्यूज करने के लिए आया होगा ये ऑप्शन, लेकिन दिस इज नोवेयर मेकिंग एन आंसर. बट इफ यू सी सिनर्जी, और ये याद रखो कि सिनर्जी जब हम पढ़े थे तो क्या बात कर रहे थे? 1 + 1 = 11. मतलब एक और एक मिलने से 11 हो रहे हैं. मतलब 1 + 1 when it equals more than 2, that is सिनर्जी. और ये सिनर्जी जब क्रिएट होती है तो आप ज्यादा प्रॉफिट्स बनाते हैं, आप ज्यादा पॉपुलर होते हैं. तो दैट्स व्हाट इज सिनर्जी. तो आप यहाँ देख लो कि ए और बी प्लस होकर मोर प्रॉफिटेबल बने हैं. सो इट विल बिकम व्हाट? दैट इज सिनर्जी. ऑलराइट, so let's move towards some other questions. Let's just skip few questions and move forward. जैसे कि ये थोड़े normal basic questions है. तो यहाँ पे देखो next, which of the following, 8th question, which of the following is likely to be the most appropriate source of finance for Westeros? तो ये requirement है. अब Westeros है क्या? We have to read it here. Now, Westeros is an organization which imports computers into country A and sells them the public the public in order to make, okay, sells them to the public sells them to the public in order to make profit. It is owned by 15 individual investors, each of whom owns an equal number of shares in Westeros. Now Westeros is not a public limited company. तो उनका मेन सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस क्या हो सकता है? मतलब उनको पैसे कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की फंडिंग से आ रहे हैं? यहाँ पे कहीं बताया क्या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की फंडिंग? नहीं. एग्जिस्टिंग ओनर्स ऑफ वेस्टेरोस पॉसिबल, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कितने लोग हैं? 15 इंडिविजुअल्स रन इट. इश्यू ऑफ शेयर्स टू पब्लिक, दे डिड नॉट इशू शेयर्स टू पब्लिक एनीवेयर इन हियर. नो, नॉट इशूड शेयर टू पब्लिक, तो ये भी नहीं. डोनेशंस फ्रॉम द पब्लिक, are they getting any donation from the public? I don't think so. The answer is no here also. So where do they get their fund? Is from the existing owners of Westeros. Okay, so let's move forward towards business organization and structure. मतलब थोड़ा next chapter पे जाते हैं हम. अब ये chapter पे आपको ये याद होगा कि when you start a business, you start it like, you know, in an entrepreneurial structure where you are the owner and you have direct employees. ठीक है, और आप ही जो है मैक्सिमम काम कर रहे हो. और जैसा जैसा बिजनेस बढ़ता है, फ्रॉम दैट एंटरप्रेन्योरल स्ट्रक्चर यू ग्रो टुवर्ड्स अ फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर. मतलब एक प्रॉपर फंक्शंस होंगे और फंक्शंस को लोग चलाएंगे वहां पे. फिर आप और जब आगे बढ़ रहे हो तो फिर आप एंटरप्रेन्योर है, उसके नीचे डिपार्टमेंट्स आ गए या डिविजन्स आ गए. लाइक डिवीजन ए बी सी, फिर हर डिवीजन के नीचे फंक्शंस। तो ऐसा बिजनेस ग्रो हो रहा है। और फिर इसमें और एक चीज बात करें हम लोग, देन इट कम्स लाइक मैट्रिक्स स्ट्रक्चर, ज्योग्राफिकल स्ट्रक्चर, और लास्ट में आता है बाउंड्री लेस स्ट्रक्चर। और बाउंड्री लेस स्ट्रक्चर में हम लोग तीन चीजों के बारे में, वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट थ्री टाइप ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। वन इज हॉलो, other one is virtual, and the third one is modular. Now in a hollow, we keep all the important tasks and give away the not so important tasks. In virtual, it is merely a name on which they are running, like an application. They are running on that application and they are not having any employees or something like that. And in modular, it is made into bits and pieces, मतलब थोड़ा 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 करके हर जगह 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 वो बनता है, बन के वो आगे बन के एक फाइनल प्रोडक्ट होता है। एंड द बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल फॉर इट इज अ मोबाइल फोन। अब जैसे कि ये देख लो, क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 for 2 marks here. We have it in which of the following is a disadvantage of a functional structure? Lack of economies of scale, absence of standardization, specialist feels isolated, empire building. मतलब क्या डिसएडवांटेज है फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर में? अब फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर का आपको एग्जांपल दे दूं कि यू आर एन एंटरप्रेन्योर, ओनर, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स, कुछ भी बोलो आप। देन कम्स फंक्शंस, यहाँ पे marketing function, we have the other type of functions like marketing, sales, purchases, HR, different structure। बस इतना ही। जब आप यहाँ पे रहेंगे, फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर में रहेंगे, possibilities of growth will be really low. Possibilities of growth will be really low, और आप properly grow नहीं कर पाएंगे। And that's why if you see in these options like lack of economies of scale, वो तो है ही, थोड़ा बहुत disadvantage है ही फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर में। Absence of standardization है, लेकिन it does not justify the complete answer, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा सा डिसएडवांटेज की साइड है, क्योंकि फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर में आप एक ही जगह रहेंगे तो having standardization is possible for us. Specialists feel isolated. Why will they feel isolated? All specialists will have their own work, they'll do their own work, so they won't feel isolated. Empire building नहीं हो सकती है, इसीलिए तो ये बनेगा आंसर, बिकॉज दे आर आस्किंग डिसएडवांटेज। फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर में आप यहीं पे, एक फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर को अगर बढ़ना है, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बढ़ना है, दे हैव टू मूव टुवर्ड्स द डिविजनल स्ट्रक्चर या ज्योग्राफिकल स्ट्रक्चर, मतलब और थोड़े ब्रांचेस होने चाहिए ताकि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आगे बढ़े। ओके, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड। अब ये क्वेश्चंस जो बाकी के मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ ना, इट इज एक्चुअली फॉर यू गाइज टू डू इट, बिकॉज द मोर यू डू इट, much better it would be for your practice and for your examination. ये क्वेश्चन नंबर 13 करते हैं, थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्टिंग है ये, बिकॉज इट इज फ्रॉम द मिन्सबर्ग। ओके, मिन्सबर्ग्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर। अब जैसे ये देखो, identify which one of the following structural configuration as popularized by Mintzberg P most closely conforms to. Okay, if you just remember organizational structure, तो उसका कुछ ऐसा था, which is like this is the simple structure which is the entrepreneur doing it. यहाँ पे it is the organizational structure, here it is the middle line, यहाँ बाजू में it is the techno structure, और यहाँ पे है वो support staff. So let's just see in here. T company is a company that makes a single product. It has very standardized ways of manufacturing this product, which are used in all its factories. There are many rules and procedures to follow. There are many rules and procedures to follow. देख लो यहाँ पे rules और procedures के ऊपर चल रहा है organization, and they are a single product और बहुत ज़्यादा standardized है। जब वो सब बहुत ज़्यादा standardized है, okay, when things are lot bit of standardized, then they are actually running on the technology. बहुत अच्छे से चल रहा है वो, तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर रन कर रहा है। And when an organization is actually run by technology and technology is taking care of the organization completely, then the answer becomes machine bureaucracy. If you remember in here, अगर हम organizational structure देखें यहाँ पे, I hope that everybody has this material. जैसे कि ये देखो, if you are running on a techno structure, okay, if you are running on techno structure, it is called what? Machine bureaucracy. ये देखो, if a techno structure dominates, it is machine bureaucracy. All right, let's move forward. थोड़े क्वेश्चंस मैं छोड़ रहा हूँ क्योंकि आप लोग को करना चाहिए वो. Let's move forward and see, like Sansaco is planning to outsource all of its functions to a third-party suppliers, even those that it feels are core activities which give company competitive advantage in the marketplace. मतलब कि maximum work they are giving it away. अब जब maximum work they are giving it away, it will automatically become virtual. If they are keeping the important work with them and giving away the not so important work, then it becomes hollow. लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है, they are giving away all the work, so it will become a virtual organization. Let's move forward towards some more questions. Like, let's go towards a 2-mark question here. Which level of strategy planning would this decision relate to? It is the question. Stark Limited is a company that currently manufactures metal tubing. It has recently decided to open a series of new manufacturing plants within country H. New manufacturing plants they are planning to open in country H, which it believes will help it to break into European market. अब जो लोग बना रहे हैं, which is like, you know, new manufacturing plants. So what type of decision is it? Is it a functional decision? Is it a strategic decision? Is it a tactical decision? Or is it an operational decision? जब आपको नए चीज बनाना है, नए मार्केट्स में घुसना है, तो it goes automatically towards the strategic decision, क्योंकि ये टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट ही लेते हैं ऐसे डिसीजंस. नॉर्मली मिडिल लेवल या ग्राउंड लेवल स्टाफ नहीं लेता है ऐसा डिसीजन. ओके, let's move forward here again. 25th question. When considering the roles of different departments, which one of the following is likely to be concerned with identifying and satisfying customer needs? मतलब कि कस्टमर को आइडेंटिफाई करो कि कौन हमारा कस्टमर है, कौन है जो परचेस कर सकता है हमारा प्रोडक्ट, और क्या उनके नीड्स है, मतलब उनके नीड्स क्या है ताकि हम उसको सेटिस्फाई करें. तो रिमेंबर दिस, व्हेन वी आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड आइडेंटिफाइंग, ये प्रोडक्शन के टाइम से पे नहीं होता है, रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट के टाइम पे भी नहीं होता है, ये होता है मार्केटिंग के टाइम पे. कब होता है ये? मार्केटिंग, और मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट करता है ये. मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट जो पब्लिक से मिलता है, वो लोग पब्लिक से सवाल पूछते हैं कि आपको क्या चाहिए, कैसा चाहिए, हाउ डू यू लाइक द प्रोडक्ट एंड स्टफ. दोस पीपल विल आस्क, एंड दोस पीपल विल आस्क, दे विल कम अप विद लाइक, यू नो, दीज आर द प्रॉब्लम्स विद द कस्टमर, दिस इज व्हाट द कस्टमर वांट्स, so this is what we should offer the customer. Okay, so it is the marketing department which should do it. Let's move forward ahead more towards question number 30. ऐसे भी questions आएंगे आपको. If you just see in here, what element in the marketing mix are the following situations concerned with? Okay, what type of marketing mix are they concerned with? One second. So in this question, if you just see here, that what element of the marketing mix are the following situations concerned with? So we have two types of means, product and place out of the marketing mix, which we need to, like, for there are 4 P's of marketing mix: product, place, price, and promotion. So we have these two in front of us, which is product and place, and they are asking that which one suits where. So let's read the question here. The situation in which a company manufactures and sells board games, it is currently considering the packaging, quality, and design of the board games as part of the strategic review. So when you are looking into the product quality and design, so it will automatically go towards, you know, they are concerning with the product. Then a key decision when reviewing the marketing mix is whether to sell directly to the consumer or indirectly through an intermediate. So when you are going towards the consumer, it is at which place the consumer is, either go to him directly or indirectly. So here it would be place. Okay, so quite a bit simple, but you need to practice this a lot to have that particular grip over it. Next, you see here, a business is planning to launch a new product. It plans to sell this product in Europe and America, but will charge more in America as it feels American customers will be willing to pay more. What type of pricing strategy is the business considering? What type of strategy it can be? See, they are planning to launch a product, but in the US, they are planning to sell it at a higher price. What it would be like, they are planning to sell it at a higher price at a different place, and at a different place they are going to sell it at a lower price. So what type of considering price strategy it is? So is it penetration pricing? See, penetration pricing is something called, you would be charging at a very less price. Okay, a less price at the start. Slowly when people get used to it, you cover up the market and then increase the price. That is called penetration pricing. Then going rate pricing is like something, the same price what is going on in the market, you can go ahead with that price. Then option C, if you see, it is price skimming. Price skimming is like you are charging a higher price. Okay, high price at the start because there is less supply, and slowly when there is more supply, the price will come towards a normal equilibrium. Then the fourth one is price discrimination, that one place one price, another place another price. So if you see in this question, they are charging one place in America, they are charging more, and another European country, they are charging less. So the answer should be price discrimination. Okay, so let's move a bit more forward. Let's go towards the organizational cultures and all. So like in here, the informal organization can either enhance or hold the business back. Now, is this a statement true? An informal organization can either enhance or hold the business back. So when it says that either of the one is possible, yes, it is possible. So the answer should be true because it is not a false statement here. It can either do this or that. Let's move forward a bit more. According to Handy's theory, in the person culture, which of the following would be correct? Now, if you just see here, if you remember, there are 4 types of cultures according to Handy, and they are denoted by the Greek gods. Like power culture, denoted by the Greek god Zeus. Then role culture, denoted by Greek god Apollo. Then person culture, which is denoted by Dionysus. Task culture, which is denoted by Greek god Athena. So these all are the stuff which you can go through from the material. But here it is asking on the person culture. So let us just see here. So in the person culture, is telling contribution made by each employee is recognized and appreciated. Okay. Then status symbols are there to remind staff of their place. People believe that if they meet the job requirement, they will slowly progress to the senior management. Rules are put in place and must be strictly followed by all. So which one actually promotes, or which one is in favor of the person culture? So let us have an explanation here. Like contribution made by each employee is recognized and appreciated. This is like something which is over exaggerated, so this cannot be the answer. Status symbols are there to remind staff of their place. Yes, it can be, like you give proper status symbols to people, that can be part of that culture. Then people believe that if they meet their job requirement, they will slowly progress to senior management. So this is towards appraisal and not towards that person. So kind of halfly quoted kind of option. Then rules are put in place that must be strictly followed by all. So this does not form part of the person culture, but what forms part of the person culture is the symbols that are to remind staff of their place. Yes, this can be the answer. Okay, but not the other options. It does not fit in, like thoda thoda fit ho raha hai lekin pura nahi. So to get this more clarity over Handy's culture, you need to go through this particular organizational culture which they have gone through already. Let me just show it to you that where it is. Like I have explained it from the slides. If in fact if you need the slides, then you can enroll for that too. Yeah, here it is. Person culture, which says that this is characterized by the fact that satisfying requirement of particularly involved in the person culture is to be found in a small, highly participatory organization where individuals undertake all duties themselves. For example, a barrister in chambers, something like that. Okay, let's move a bit more forward here. Like, let's see this 2-mark question. Consider the following cultural dimensions as popularized by Hofstede, which is high uncertainty avoidance, masculinity, low power distance, individualism. In country A, most businesses are highly bureaucratic with many defined rules for employees. However, even junior staff members are usually involved in the creation of these rules, as they expect to have a say in the running of the business. So, what can be forming the answer here? So, what can it be like? He's saying that the junior staff, okay, junior staff members are usually involved in the creation of these rules. So, what type of business are they running here? Is it high uncertainty avoidance, like it can be, I think so, yes, because if you have that employees close towards business roles and responsibilities, then the type of problems like employee leaving the organization, taking secrets of the organization, this type of problem won't be there. So high uncertainty avoidance, yes, problems can be avoided by knowing what is happening in the business also, so that they give proper recommendations to us. Then masculinity uh masculinity, I don't think so, because masculinity is like you are dividing, you're not going towards unity or towards the betterment of the organization. If you concentrate more on masculinity, then femininity will be a problem, and if you concentrate the either way, it is a problem. So it should not be, or it is not looking like more focused. They are not talking about male versus female here. Then low power distance. In country A, mostly high bureaucratic with many defined rules for employees. Even they are involved in the creation of these rules, they expect to have say in their own business. So low power distance, yes, it can be, because there is less power, means there's a distance between the people who are having the power and people who are taking the decisions there. There's low power distance in here because they are having their say in the business. And individualism, it cannot be, because this is more of a collective role, and not even this masculinity, because there's no male versus female here. So the option here should be 1 and 3. So what are to cancel 1 and 3? So 1 and 3, option B is the answer here. This should be the answer here. Okay, now let's move a bit more forward. Like, yeah, here spreadsheet packages are primarily used to analyze and sort data. Now, are they primarily used for this? Yes, spreadsheets is nothing but your Excel sheets. They are used to analyze and sort data. Yes, they are. Then if you just see in here, question number 49, which of the following criteria is of good quality information is not being met by this report? So if you just see, all these options are part of the good quality of information. Let's see. UCO has recently commissioned a report into the potential sales of a prototype report that it has developed. The report is extremely detailed and filled with jargons. Jargons मतलब के कुछ ऐसे terms जो एक layman को समझ में नहीं आए, जो एक normal इंसान को समझ में नहीं आए. That's a jargon. The management of you are finding it difficult to follow the report's findings. तो यहाँ पे कौन सी प्रॉब्लम हो गई? समझ नहीं आ रहा है, तो समझ नहीं आ रहा है तो मतलब not understandable, it will go towards understandable. It is not understandable. This is what they are lacking. Maybe it is relevant, it is complete, it is accurate, but it's not understandable, because that's also required, right? So let's move a bit more forward. Okay, are the following statements true or false? Blockchain technology represents the possibility of an accounting ledger that can be continuously updated and verified without a threat of being altered or corrupted. Yes. Blockchain technology represents that only, because they want to understand It's a distributed ledger. Now in that distributed ledger, they are distributed into blocks. Now when they're distributed into blocks, what do they want? They want proper security of the data, and it does not get altered just like this. Then comes phishing. Phishing is a type of computer virus. uh, Phishing is not a type of a computer virus. See, phishing is like phishing, they call it. Phishing, whatever you call it. It is like fishing only. Like if you go fishing, what happens when you go fishing? You take that fishing rod with you, and towards the end of that clip, you attach something which attracts the fish, and the fish gets attracted towards it, but actually it gets caught there. So you are a bit more attracted towards some stuff that is shown to you, and automatically your data gets there. So here blockchain is right, but false with the phishing. Phishing or phishing, another example can be like, suppose they'll ask you, or there'll be a portal, okay? There'll be something like, click here to enter into a free draw of iPhone 13 Pro Max or 14 Pro Max, something like that. Enter into a draw. So what do they want? They want your email address. You enter your email address. They say that, okay, we have, entered your address into our lucky draw. If you win it, you'll get your iPhone. So something like this has happened. But do you actually win that iPhone? No, you do not win it. What has happened is they've got your email, and somewhat they'll say to register on this page also. So you'll enter your email and your password. They get it from the backend, and they can get your data. So that's phishing there. Okay, I hope you guys are there understanding it with me. Let's move a bit more forward. See, I'm leaving many questions for you guys. Like if you just see, employees are dash stakeholders while finance providers are dash stakeholders. Really, really easy one here. Employees are internal stakeholders, whereas financial providers are connected stakeholders. It goes without saying. Stakeholders can classify into several different ways, including what all they are, what it can be. Question number 55. External, secondary, two categories. Usually stakeholders can classify into several different ways, including what it can be: primary stakeholders, external stakeholders, connected stakeholders, secondary stakeholders. I guess this is, where's the question? I'm missing out something. Okay, stakeholders can be classified in different several ways, including primary, these all activities. Which two categories would, which two categories pressure groups usually be included in? Now, pressure groups are those people who are coming from outside. So outside are these external and secondary. So these two. Answer will be C. Then moving more forward, like this question looks good. 56. A is a large company whose shares are owned by a large number of individual investors who do not wish to engage with companies' decision making despite having full rights to do so. When using Mendelow's matrix, this stakeholder group would be classified as. So what is happening here? They do not wish to engage in companies' decision making despite having full rights to do so. So when they are doing this, they are a large number of individuals, but they are not wishing to be daily informed into it. So what happens here is they will be highly they won't be interested in the organization, but they want to be satisfied all the time. So they are having more power, but they are having least interest. So in that case, it is keep satisfied. Let me just explain it to you again once, the matrix. If I have to explain it to you again about this stakeholder matrix, if you just see here, it is like high power, high interest, low power, low interest. तो अगर ये interest हो गया और ये हो गया power, if you just see in here, those people have high interest and high power. Those are the people who are called key players. मतलब high power, high interest है तो key players. Those people who are having लो पावर बट इंटरेस्ट इज हाई, तो उनको क्या करना है, keep informed, that those people are to be kept informed. High interest, low power. And those people who are having high power and low interest, those are the people who have to be kept satisfied. And those who are having less interest and less power, minimal effort would be taken in here. So if we just see in here, these are the people who are having high power because there are large number of individual investors and do not wish to engage. Matlab they are least bothered. They are having less interest but are having high power. So in that case, what happens? Less interest, high power, keep them satisfied. I hope you guys are able to follow up. Let's move forward towards external political and legal factors here. This is chapter 6. Constructive dismissal occurs when an organization no longer needs an employee and therefore terminates their contract. Is this right? I don't think so. Because what happens is, constructive dismissal is something like you create a situation in front of the employees in such a way that they just leave and go. And creating that situation is not good. So this is actually false. It's not like, you no longer need it. You no longer need it. It becomes kind of, redundancy. Okay, so constructive dismissal, it is not that. Then let's move a bit forward. Data protection legislation such as the Data Protection Act in the UK typically focuses on what? So issues concerning data held about corporate entities, rights of the individual with regards to withholding information about oneself, the way data about individual is to be obtained, used and stored, aligning the information requirements between different countries. So it goes without saying, like issuing concerning data held about incorporated entities. No, it is not. Khali incorporated entities के लिए Data Protection Act नहीं बना है. It is for all. Rights of the individual with regards to withholding information about oneself. मतलब आप अपनी information withhold करना तो उसके लिए act क्यों बनाएंगे? That's not it is for. Then the way data about the individual is to be obtained, used and stored. So this can be the answer, because how you need to obtain, use and store the data that it is. And then D, aligning the information requirements between different countries. Aligning the information requirements between different countries. ये यूके का तो लॉ नहीं हो सकता है, क्योंकि यूके का लॉ तो यूके की कंट्री के बारे में बात करेगा, दूसरे दूसरे कंट्रीज के बारे में they won't talk it. So answer here should be what? Option number C. I hope you guys all are able to follow up with me. Let's move a bit more forward. Like, considering the following statements, all contracts must be signed by all relevant parties in order to be binding. Consumer legislation typically only covers purchases of goods. Which of them is true, and which of them are actually, they're asking which of these statements are correct. So what all statements can be correct? All contracts must be signed by all relevant parties in order to be binding. I don't think so. Matlab, itna sab all, it cannot be. And then consumer legislation typically covers purchases of goods. No, it does not. Sale of goods bhi cover karta hai wo. So the option should be neither are correct. Both are false. Let's move forward. Consider the following statements. Like, equilibrium is the selling price above which the number of units demanded by the market starts to decline. Achha. As the selling price of a product increases, the number of units supplied by the market will also tend to rise. Now, what can it be? Na, ye to sahi dikh raha hai, lekin jo pehla wala question hai, this one does not look at all, because even after reading it, the reaction comes like, how come the units demanded by the market starts to decline once they reach the equilibrium point? No, equilibrium point is something where, jitna demand hai utne ka supply ho raha hai. Then, statement number 2, as the selling price of a product increases, the number of units supplied by the market will tend also to rise. Yes, selling price is increasing, so they will want to sell more. So answer should be only 2. Okay, so let's move forward towards some other questions. Let's move. जैसे कि अच्छा ये क्वेश्चन है, देखो, product A and B are substitutes. A 5% change in the price of A has resulted in a 4% change in the demand of B. What is the cross elasticity of the demand between A and B? अब ये देखो, परसेंटेज चेंज इन डिमांड ऑफ वन प्रोडक्ट डिवाइडेड बाय क्या होगा, परसेंटेज चेंज इन द प्राइस ऑफ द अदर प्रोडक्ट. अब इफ आई हैव टू टेक दिस परसेंटेज चेंज कितना हुआ है बी का, ए हैज रिजल्टेड इन अ 4% चेंज इन द डिमांड ऑफ बी, मतलब कि कितना चेंज हुआ है, 4% चेंज हुआ है. एंड हाउ मच वाज द 5% चेंज इन द प्राइस ऑफ ए. तो फिर 5% अगर मैं यहाँ ले लूँ तो 5 डिवाइडेड बाई 4, what can it be? 5 by 4. Let me just take a calculator. Sorry, 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 will equal to 0.8. Now when it is 0.8, yeah, that's what, it's not even negative, it's positive only. Plus 0.8 should be the cross elasticity. मतलब कि ये इतना चेंज हो रहा है तो वो उतना चेंज होगा, मतलब कि it is positively impacting in here. Okay, let's move forward towards some other questions in here. Which of the following is not a factor that affects the price elasticity of demand? Now, which one of the factors do not affect it? The amount of consumer income spent on an item. Will this affect the price elasticity of demand? Yes, it will affect. Duration of the price change. Will it affect? Yes, it will affect. Matlab, these are affecting the price elasticity of demand, right? Now, price change in consumer income, it will. The necessity of the items to consumers. Price elasticity of demand, will it affect? Yes, it will affect. Price elasticity will be. The initial number of units demanded, will this be affected? I don't think so. See, initial number of units demanded will anyhow be there, whether the price is changing or not. Your basic needs will be taken into consideration. So answer goes option D. I hope you guys are all able to follow up with me. Let's move forward a bit in here in this questions. जैसे कि ये 85. Which of the following is the name given to unemployment, which is a result of aggregate demand in the economy being too small to create employment opportunities for all those willing and able to work? So there are people who are able and willing to work, but still there is no jobs just because of the aggregate demand, and there's a proper cycle which is going on. So in that case, see, structural unemployment is an unemployment which is happening if there is a technological change. If there is some update of softwares and people are not able to do that, then that's a structural unemployment. Cyclical unemployment, yes, it is possible. Whereas frictional unemployment is something like, it is an interim kind of an unemployment where you're changing one job to another, and in between you're having some time in that job change. That's frictional unemployment. Real wage unemployment will go towards the economy again, that you are not going to receive that amount of stuff. So it does not form part of this particular question. What goes is cyclical unemployment. With this question, this goes best here. All right, so let's move a bit more forward here. Let's see question number 90. What fiscal policy would be best used when trying to address a deflationary gap? Now, deflationary gap मतलब क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? What is the problem in deflationary gap? ये कब होता है? When you have insufficient demand in the economy. मतलब कि demand ही नहीं है. Having a budget deficit means that government is putting money in the economy. अब जैसे हो रहा है, देखो ज्यादा लोग एम्प्लॉय हो रहे हैं. Who will use their earning to buy the goods produced in the country? नहीं करेंगे. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? If you just see in here with this particular question, fiscal policy would be best used when trying to address a deflationary gap is when you are having a budget deficit. Whereas running a surplus, ये time पे तो नहीं करेंगे आप. Lower interest rates, this is also time when you're having a budget surplus. Raising interest rates, not suggested at all in here. What fiscal policy would be best when trying to address a deflationary gap? मतलब कि आपके पास उतना डिमांड नहीं है, तो क्या हो रहा है? You are running into a budget deficit. This is actually having a budget deficit. Will go towards a deflationary gap. Let's move a bit more forward. The balance of payment surplus will result in, what would it result in? Balance of payment surplus, मतलब कि आपके पास ज्यादा पैसे हैं या फिर ज्यादा अच्छा है, तो lower rate of economic growth? No, economic growth will be more. Inflation? Yes, inflation will be there. Unemployment? नहीं, unemployment तो नहीं होगा. Then budget deficit? No, you are having a balance of payment surplus. That means you are in surplus here. So it does not mean a surplus, deficit. So you will be having inflation here. Okay. So this should be the answer there. Let's move forward to question number 100. Like, considering the following statements, monitoring population growth is usually only important for public or governmental organizations. Attitudes represent an individual's personal preferences or patterns of choice. Which of the following statements are correct? Now, if you just see in here, monitoring population growth is usually only important for public or governmental organization. No, every organization will be affected here. So this statement is false. Attitudes represent an individual's personal preferences or patterns of choice. No, taste of customers, taste of customers represent an individual's personal preferences or patterns of choice, not the attitudes. So attitude will show the consumer confidence. So both of them, okay, both of them are wrong. So we should go with option D. Okay, let's move a bit more forward. If you just see in here, introduction of a new technology often means that a company can streamline its operation. This impacts organizational structure in which of the following ways? It encourages managers to spend more time controlling the staff activities. It allows the company to reorganize itself into a taller structure. It allows delayering by widening a manager's span of control. What can it be? अब जैसे कि ये question फिर से मैं पढ़ूं. Introduction of a new technology often means that a company can streamline its operations. This impacts organization structure in which of the following ways? अब जब कोई एक नई टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है तो उसमें क्या होगा? मैनेजर्स टू स्पेंड मोर टाइम कंट्रोलिंग स्टाफ एक्टिविटीज? नहीं है, टेक्नोलॉजी अगर आ गई तो फिर टेक्नोलॉजी काम करेगी. द मैनेजर्स डोंट नीड टू डू दैट. Then it allows the company to reorganize itself into a taller structure. Taller structure का मतलब क्या है? वो एक के नीचे दो like this type. तो tall structure क्यों होगा? जब एक टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है तो फिर क्या होगा? थोड़े से लोग आउट हो जाएंगे कंपनी से. That is called delayering. So if you just see option 3, it allows delayering by widening a manager's span of control. So technology के base पे you can control people and you can widen your control. So let's move a bit forward. Recycling waste material could be classed as being both environmental friendly and sustainable. Yes, it will be. मतलब recycle आप करेंगे और recycling waste material is good for environment and also it will promote sustainability. Yes, so answer should be true. Let's move a bit forward. Okay, so it is competitive factors, which is from chapter 9. So what we'll do is we'll stop here. I'll stop here. I have done the 2-mark questions. I have done the 1-mark questions, but the 4-mark questions I have not done it yet. The 4-mark questions I will do it once you guys come up in the comment section and say me that you have completed these 108 questions. You have completed first 8 chapters, completed 108 questions, and you want me to make the 4-mark questions also, then I'll go ahead with the 4-mark question. Anyhow, I'll do it later, but I want you guys to participate in this. The more you participate in it, the much better it would be for this class together to grow. And also, if suppose you are here for the first time and you're watching this session for the first time, then you can go ahead, like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this session with those students who are aspiring to do ACCA from their knowledge level, who have just completed their 12th. Share it with them so that they get more clarity about these sessions. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next session. And also one more announcement is that the financial accounting classes are also getting started. So follow up all together. And if you need the materials, registrations and stuff, come down to us. We'll help you with that. Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next session.